Well, back guys to Fog Racing, and we've got some news here regarding the F1 weekend. This season starting from now on. Fog Racing, we're covering every weekend. There's going to be a Friday practice report. There's going to be a Saturday review on qualifying. And there's always going to be the race review and any other news in between. But testing is in the books. I mean, last year I did cover testing. I mean, I watched most of our testing this year, but we've got some news. I'm just going to give my thoughts on testing. There's 5 key storylines ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix, which I think is if you're an F1 fan, you're really looking forward to this weekend. But first question is here: who is quickest after testing? There's so many cliches around pre-season testing that I'm going to try and avoid as best I can. But you never really know how much performance any team has got until qualifying at the opening race. But yeah, says here that Red Bull looked like the outright fastest. You know, until the final day, they did look not mediocre, but they looked alright. But then the final day, they put that upgraded RB18 the parts on, but boom. But until that point, as this guy's rightly points out, Ferrari had a more consistent and impressive pre-season. But as it says, both teams are clearly hiding something. Now, the next thing is Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, right? They can come out and say that the car isn't good enough and it's not good enough for competing for wins, right? And we can just sit here and right? See, him not being able to compete for wins, that is literally like what every other team over the past couple of years has been like with Mercedes, apart from Red Bull last year. Because even in 2020, right? That Red Bull could only compete for wins when Mercedes fucked up. There was like wet races, apart from Abu Dhabi, the final race in 2020, and a few races where the Mercedes just overheated or had major tyre problems. The Red Bull was not quick enough to compete with Mercedes, right? So how much slower? I mean, I think if you're within 3/10 a lap off, you can still compete for wins and shit. You can do different strategies, try something. You know what I mean? So, I mean, how much off are Mercedes realistically going to be off the top 2 teams? Which I'll be real. I think right now Red Bull and Ferrari are faster than Mercedes. But I mean, what realistically, what is the gap? Are you trying to tell me there's like an 8/10 gap between Red Bull and Mercedes? Because that is what Mercedes would have you to believe. But I'm not buying it. But yeah, I'll give. We'll probably do a separate vid ranking the teams in order. But if I was to do the top 3 right now, I would go Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, with a gap of no more than 5/10 between fastest to slowest and that. But there has been major reliability issues. Haas have actually done not too bad, but they've not really got their laps together. Alpine had DRS issues in Barcelona. McLaren's brakes don't work in hot conditions, which is not good. Really not good. I mean, they were doing like 10 laps at a time, so that'll be interesting. But the midfield is particularly tight, and it'll be interesting to see what the gap is for the fastest team to the slowest team. Hopefully, it's only like around 1.5 seconds, but it probably will be more than that if we're being perfectly honest. But will Daniel Ricciardo be able to race? That's another question. Because he has COVID, of course. But it looks like if he ain't able to race, there's quite a few options. Stoffel van Dorn is unavailable though. We've got Nick de Vries, we've got Paul di Resta, we've also got Oscar Piastri. But the 5th question, how will the new rules impact the race? And of course, all that stuff. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for your quick news roundup here of the F1 2022. Next up, we'll probably do a vid. Well, I say probably. We are going to do a vid doing our championship predictions, a preview for Bahrain, and then probably ranking the teams in order going into the season from slowest to fastest. But anyway, guys, until next time, peace.